All right, enough being said. Who's ready to get cozied up on your couch, on your bed, wherever the heck you guys are? Get a little snack, get maybe a drink, maybe even get a blanket or a what are they called? A plushie. We are about to dive into true crime. So, trigger warning. I have to say this because who knows who may pop into the stream. But trigger warning. Hopefully, you guys can hear this.
Yeah, there was so much going on. There were like 50 cops there.
This is the mother of 19-year-old Austin Haroof, Nina. Mere moments before this interview, Nina had to watch as her son not only killed two innocent people, but devoured them.
The teenager killed a husband and wife, and the man's...
I don't know how to do this. My son, he's taken off. It seems like he's a little delusional.
For months, Austin had been showing signs of slowly losing himself.
Austin told him the devil talked to him like 6 months ago. I've heard he's been reading religious stuff lately. Really reading a lot of stuff.
And two people now dead and one fighting for his life. Austin's parents will realize their son is a cannibal.
So I said, what the hell are you doing? Batraka and cannibalism goes hand in hand.
It's around 10 p.m. on August 15, 2016. Another beautiful night in Martin County, Florida, one of the wealthiest in the state. But Nina Haroof, the mother of Austin Haroof, is growing increasingly concerned about her son. After days of disturbing behavior, the 19-year-old stormed out of a family meal at Duffy's Sports Grill about an hour earlier and hasn't been seen since. Worried for his safety, Nina calls 911, but little does she know it's far too late, because as she soon discovers, it's not Austin's safety she should be worried about, it's everyone else's.
Yes, I don't know how to do this. My son, he's kind of taken off, and I'm concerned about his own safety. It seems like he's a little delusional, or he's wearing white shorts, and he had a blue polo on and a red hat. Make America great again. And he was out to dinner with his dad today, and he took off, and we just, he was with his sister, and he says, he feels immortal and like a superhero. So I don't.
Who does bro feel like a superhero? Apparently, it's sounding like he was having a manic episode. Not gonna lie, him feeling superhero and immortal. It's giving manic episode.
Because just half an hour earlier, what's going on with Austin is one of the worst and strangest crimes in the state's history. And when it comes to Florida, that's saying something. Jeff Fisher is home in bed when he hears a blood-curdling scream coming from his neighbors across the street. He looks out the window, only to see
Florida man. I know. I was trying not to. The moment I heard Florida, I was like, it would be here. But I don't want to. I want to be respectful towards Florida because I got online friends from there.
a frantic-eyed Austin Haroof viciously attacking Michelle Stevens, a woman he has absolutely no connection to. Jeff runs to her rescue and finds both Michelle and her husband John Stevens gravely wounded, and Austin offering a chilling warning.
He turned and looked at me and said, "You want no part of this, you want no part of me, one of the two." And then from his right hand, swung.
But it's too late. Austin attacks him with a knife, inflicting serious life-threatening wounds. Jeff still manages to flee to his home and call police, but by now multiple calls are flooding in. And as police rush to Southeast Kokomo Lane, they stumble into a scene straight out of The Walking Dead. Austin, shirtless, barefoot, and totally detached from reality, sits on top of John growling like an animal, biting him. Officers' commands are ignored, and pepper spray and tasers have little effect. In the end, it takes...
Guys, stop. Stop. Growled on top of a person? Who he think he is? Literally, pepper spray and the taser had no effect. What was he on? Guys, if they tell me there was no substances in his system, I'm gonna be scared. Because what makes a person not be affected by taser and pepper spray? That must be some adrenaline, like crazy adrenaline. He was on some alpha. Yeah, literally.
Multiple officers and a canine unit to take Austin into custody, and as he's finally pulled away, he makes a chilling claim. "Help me," he tells a sergeant. "I ate something bad." When the sergeant asks what, he coldly replies, "Humans." John Stevens is pronounced dead at the scene, and Michelle dies at the hospital a short time later, but Jeff Fisher miraculously survives his severe injuries. Austin's admitted to the ICU, where he's heavily sedated and treated for extensive injuries of his own, including dog bites from canines. Now, with an entire state shocked by an inexplicable crime, everyone wants to know one thing: why? But as police wait to speak with him, and doctors wait for the results of a toxicology test, detectives speak with his devastated parents Nina and Wade to fill in the pieces of this bizarre and shocking crime.
So I said, "Do you want to go back and eat something?" And he's like, "Okay." And I don't know where he went to get this shirt. I want to say it was the back bedroom by our bedroom. And he got a fuller shirt and put it on. And I guess I got the keys and we left.
Nina's clearly in shock, but she's still able to give detectives a detailed timeline of the evening. While she was at home, her ex-husband Wade and children were out to dinner at Duffy's sports bar. But out of nowhere, Austin arrived back home and began acting strangely. He wasn't wearing a shirt and attempted to drink vegetable oil straight from the jar. Nina drove him back to the restaurant, but minutes later, Austin vanished yet again. Now at a loss, the family did the only thing they thought they could do: call 911 and begin searching themselves. Unfortunately,
I don't think he knows an Ivy.
Do you know the Stevens family?
No.
You ever met them? Okay. What about the Fisher family? Do you know anyone on that block?
No.
Okay. Does he know anyone on that?
Not that I know
Not
of.
that you know of. So you
Wait a second. Did he just murder people that he didn't even know that he just met that night? A crime of opportunity? That's kind of scary. Something that unpredictable is very, like, rare to come. Not rare, obviously it happens, but, like, the statistics are, like, it's very uncommon for just, like, random things like that to happen to people that the perpetrator did not know.
there's many reasons why this case stands out to cops, namely the cannibalism. But what's even more shocking is that their suspect isn't a drug-crazed felon with a known history of mental illness. He's a frat bro majoring in exercise science at Florida State. So then what could have possibly led to his depraved acts?
He was hungry. Mood. You're not you when you're hungry. Them saying he was a frat bro studying sports. I was like, break me off of that piece of that Kit Kat bar. Hey.
While the toxicology report shows no alcohol or drugs in Austin's body at the time of the murders, could his recent use of psychedelics have caused a slow, simmering psychotic break? And if
Ding,
watching
ding, ding,
detectives
ding,
pick
ding.
apart...
also in your 911 call, they asked you if he's on drugs, and you had mentioned that yes, he has been on drugs, but you don't know if he's been on drugs lately. Do you know what kind of drugs he was on?
I mean, I know he did.
Okay.
All right, place your bets right now. What do you think she said? What do you think he took? When I saw the M, I was like, methamphetamines. But then I'm like, I see the Mary Jane comment. I'm like, low key, that might be the same letters. But I'm like, Mary Jane's not gonna make you go eat people. You know what I mean? Like, that's some bath salts type of thing.
Did he do an excessive amount, or was it just
Not-
social, if you could even call it social? Or,
If you could even call it social, that's fine.
I don't know.
you don't know?
I mean,
Okay.
he turned out
What was
that
his relationship with his girlfriend? He had a girlfriend in
Great.
school. Yeah. Did you ever meet her?
Yes.
What kind of person is she?
Wonderful.
Yeah, she's a good person. Have you been in contact with her recently?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
Did she mention anything about violence or?
No, but just a change.
Wait, what if she could have helped him? Oh, you mean helped him as in, like, you think the girl helped him, like, cha-cha-cha, munch, 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 crunch, crunch. Not me trying to be a detective. Hey, ass, that ideology is what we love in here. I don't think, well, I don't know. The girl could have been more like, hey, your religion thing that you were falling into, I don't mess with that, so we're done for now.
As Nina describes recent incidents in her son's life, she paints a disturbing portrait of a young man seemingly unraveling at the seams.
The thing that makes me so uncomfortable sometimes, especially when really dark cases like this, is that mugshot picture, because those eyes always just look so like dark, hollow, and like just pure black, like eyeballs. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? Like, yeah,
And right
only the
before
mom is in
everyone's
here,
eyes.
guys. Everyone else is
Because now that
suspect.
it's clear just how far gone Austin really was, his strange statements, drug use, and bizarre videos like these that he posted on YouTube puts everything else into a heartbreaking perspective.
I'm gonna talk to you about why I don't do steroids. I don't need drugs. Hello. Say that, and like, anybody who disagrees is such.
But how could a bright and successful student athlete seemingly lose his mind within a matter of weeks, to the point of turning into a bloodthirsty cannibal killer?
So far, everything I'm hearing is definitely giving me like he really was trying to find an identity. I don't know if you guys are noting that, because like we got the whole religion thing, right? Religion thing. First, the devil talked to him. Now God talked to him, and then we have the athlete, right? But then we're having him doing social media, quote unquote, these videos. So maybe that's his identity. Him, like you guys are saying, him trying to make somebody laugh. Maybe he's like, I'm gonna be the funny guy, the hee hee ha ha guy, or he's bipolar. That too. I know a couple bipolars. They're not out here killing people and eating them. They're not unaliving people and munch munch crunch crunch. You know what I mean?
Maybe there's somebody outside that you can talk to if you're uncomfortable talking to us. And I said, will you go? And he said, okay, I'll go. And he said it twice, I'll go. And then I dropped him off.
Does he go to any churches, any houses of worship, anything like that? No.
No, but I've heard he's been reading religious stuff lately, and like really reading a lot of stuff, which I never knew. His friends were telling me. He was going, I think I've read too many motivational books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many he's read, and he goes, I did self-hypnosis. And I'm like, how do you do self-hypnosis? And he got his computer, and there was this video, I guess, that came on. I'm like, I don't want to watch that,
Mm-hmm. Do you remember anything of the video? It
was just this blue, it started with this blue panel. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I left, after I thought he was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back, and he's knocking on the door. I'm like, what's wrong?
There are so many questions, guys, that I have here. I'm like, was he really reading too many self-help motivational books, or was he reading that religious stuff, and that's why he couldn't sleep, because his mind was going 100 about all these weird religious things that were probably, messing with like the belief system that he grew up in. Also, self-hypnosis. I really wish that she would have stayed to like just watch what it was, that blue screen, because I'm like, what was it saying? Like, what was this self-hypnosis for? Like, to help you fall asleep? To like conquer the day? Like, or was it some weird stuff, where like at the end it's like, you won't remember anything of this.
As Nina tells it, Austin was now hitting the trifecta of signs associated with a complete mental break: insomnia, religious hysteria, and delusions of grandeur. And while just one could be dismissed as a phase, put together they show the mind of a young man on the brink of madness. Yet even after this bizarre self-hypnosis incident, Nina still wanted to give her son the benefit of the doubt. As Nina's interview ends, detectives have a far greater understanding as to what may have happened to her son, even if she doesn't. Because it's clear a quick-moving psychosis attacked Austin like a lightning storm in his brain, and it was only a matter of time before someone around him got struck. Unfortunately for John and Michelle Stevens, and their would-be hero Jeff Fisher, they found themselves directly in his path. So now that Austin's mother's given her version of events, his father Wade steps in to give his own.
What our intentions are is just to see what his state of mind was, what was going on.
Walking through the woods for about 2 or 3 hours. And Austin would be happy. He'd be quiet, and all of a sudden I saw, look, there's a tortoise shell that's empty, and there's another one. He goes, stop, everybody! He gets his knife, and it's about this long. He says, stay behind me. I feel something is going to happen here. I said, put that damn thing back up. What the hell's wrong with you? And he did.
Yeah, that poor boy was somewhere else. He was not here with us. No, dead ass, who was he feeling like? I love, though, that this father figure, like, was so real. Because sometimes you need this person in your life to, like, verbally slap you in the face and be like, bruh, stop being stupid, you know?
What I was doing for the last 2 weeks is trying to joke him out of it, the psychosis. And I said, put that away, you're crazier than hell, stop. So then after that, we continued to walk and workouts.
The behavior Wade describes is disturbing to say the least, and the culmination of weeks of a worsening psychosis that simply couldn't be laughed away, no matter how hard he tried. But little did Wade know that things were hitting a breaking point, and it was nothing a family hike in the woods or dinner at Duffy's could solve.
So anyway, he sprinted.
As to mental illness or anything like that?
Yes.
There is on who?
My sister.
Your sister? And she's being treated?
She was treated.
She was treated? Okay. What kind of illness?
She had severe depression.
Okay. Anyone else in your family? Yourself? Okay. Depression?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were treated and everything else? What about grandparents or anything like that? No? Okay. What about him? Has he ever seen a psychiatrist or been treated for?
I don't think he has.
Okay.
See, I got excited because I was like, oh, okay, maybe she got some schizo, maybe she got some psychosis. And then they hit it with the depression, and I said, that doesn't make you kill people. That doesn't make you eat people. It just makes you, like, you wouldn't even have an effort to do that.
And he jumps on the hood of my car and dents it. And so I finally decided to give him his keys back so he didn't damage my car any further.
Yeah.
And I wrote him a text on my phone. I said, you damaged my car. We got a one-word answer, learn.
Nearly overnight, it seems Austin turned into a completely different person. But just like Nina, Wade appears convinced that at least some of the blame belongs with Nick, a homeless boy Austin befriended, who they believe to be a bad influence on their son. But how much could Austin have really changed after spending just one night with him? It's far more likely that his psychosis has been bubbling up underneath the surface for some time, just looking for a perfect set of circumstances to emerge, and then wreak havoc.
An instance of psychosis. You know, grandiosity. I'm all powerful. I don't need Arnold no more. I mean, we're embarrassed. Me and my wife are embarrassed. We didn't look at his damn note about getting him to see his therapist. So I called a person I knew, and I called another person I knew that I'd used in the past, and they weren't available.
Has he ever seen a therapist before?
No.
While efforts were made to get Austin help, it was sadly a case of too little too late.
Yeah.
Because by the time Wade started asking around for therapists, Austin was already well into the throes of a psychotic break. So now, instead of fitness and weightlifting, he was leaning into a new obsession: religion. And little did Wade or anyone else know
Very dangerous.
that the countdown to the inevitable had begun.
Cannibalism goes hand in hand, and don't it's an issue at all.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there would be no easy answers when it comes to the question of why Austin did what he did.
Yeah.
There were no drugs found in his system, no symptoms of excited delirium, just multiple signs of a rapidly spiraling mind, all happening so fast that his family found themselves too stunned and terrified to act.
Yeah.
Due to extensive psychiatric evaluations, COVID-related court delays, and Austin's prolonged recovery from his injuries, the case wouldn't reach a court until 2022. He was originally charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. But experts retained by both the prosecution and the defense came to the same conclusion. Austin was suffering an acute psychotic episode during the attack and couldn't distinguish right from wrong. A judge found him not guilty by reason of insanity and committed him to a secure state psychiatric facility.
I mean, I consider that a win and a lose situation. Okay, plea of insanity. I'm going to give it to him because low key, everything I heard from the family, he needed help. And y'all were just giving hee hee ha ha jokes about it. Like specifically the father was just like telling him, boy, what's wrong with you? Why don't you get him some help? Every time you made a joke about things, why didn't you be like, hey, actually let's sit down with my son and actually debrief on these things? Yeah, he really did need help. He did. I think it's sad that, no prison time or whatnot because, you kind of unalived two people and almost try to unalive a third one. But I'm going to say it's also a win situation because he's going to be in a psychiatric place, which, respectfully, sometimes those are way worse than prisons, sometimes. So either way, he's going to hopefully get some help and he's going to be locked. Thank you guys so much for being on here. We worked around some of the issues, obviously. I'm going to try next time to get this up and running a little faster. So that we can get through things a little more. And if there's any true crime stuff that you guys want me to review on Wednesdays, not Wednesdays, on Tuesdays. Tuesdays. I gotta remember, we're gonna try and aim for Tuesdays with this setup. But anything you guys want me to watch on Tuesdays, within news, true crime, or anything like that, let me know. But yeah. All right. Ass, thank you for being a trooper, for being here for so long. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I don't know if anybody gave gifts or whoever joined. I'm still trying to figure out this system. I was only able to see the people who commented. So, thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you guys next week on Tuesday. Have a great week/weekend. He knew what he literally looked at the person and said, you don't want a piece of this, and you don't want a piece of me.